Oh, by the way, a little update on what we talked about last week. We were talking about, okay, this blows. We were talking about how Sony's closing down the PS3 and Vita stores. And how it's really bad for, like, video game preservation and stuff. So, if you already weren't mad enough at Sony for suddenly closing down the PS3 and Vita store without any warning and not backing up any of the stuff, so that... Oh, by the way, I read some article that had the numbers. I don't remember exactly what they are. You can look them up. But it's something like 180-ish games. Specifically PS3 games. There's like 180 like digital PS3 games that will be gone forever. Then there's like 100 or so PS1 games that are technically gone forever, but they're PS1 games, so you could just play them on PS1. There's like 80 or so Vita games that'll be gone forever. Digital Vita games that'll be gone forever. And there's like 100 PlayStation Minis, if you remember those. Those will be gone forever. So those are like the numbers. It's like 400-ish games, I think, that'll be gone forever when this happens. You could look up I don't remember exactly what they are, but it's somewhere around there. So that's kind of what, to give you an idea, that's what's going when the store closes. But if you weren't already mad enough at Sony for doing that, apparently, according to what I read, they didn't even tell developers who were currently working on PlayStation Vita games. Because PlayStation Vita games are still made. The Vita is not off the market. Like, the Vita is still sold. You could argue that the PS3 is kind of like post-market at this point. But the Vita is still Sony's most recent console, handheld console. It's not even 10 years old. So, like, it's still on shelves. You can go buy it, and yet, if you buy it, the store will not be there, and all you can have is physical games. But apparently, Sony didn't even tell companies that were currently making Vita games. So, those developers either had to cancel completely or get it out before the store closes. And they didn't even tell them until, like, the public announcement. So now they have to, like, scramble to be like, are we just not making this game now? Or are we making it quick enough so it gets on the store so people can buy it before the store is gone? Like, wow. That's pretty insane. Yeah, it's bad. It's really sad. Like, I mean, you can look at it and be like, you know, who cares about the old games, right? Okay, that thing is not worth it. It looks really cool though. You know, if you're someone that doesn't really care about video game preservation, then you could say, like, you know, who cares? Those games suck anyways. Suck it up. That had to close eventually, whatever, like, fine. But the real problem is just, it's very eye-opening to us how little Sony cares about games. Like, Sony has always been the company that I thought cared about video games the most, you know? Like, they've been around for so long, and they tend to at least have some, you know, back in the day, they used to have backwards compatibility with everything. Even the PS3 had double backwards compatibility. So, like, it seemed like they cared about their old games and understood, like, the culture of video games. But it's gotten really, really bad. I don't know if you've seen the meme floating around with the Sony. I think it was I forget. Is he the president or is he just the top guy with, like, the marketing? I don't remember his name. But that Sony executive that said who would want to play old games. I don't know if you've seen that, but, like, it's really eye-opening now how little Sony cares about video games. They're really just in it for the money at this point. I think there was a time where they cared about the culture, but now they don't. It's pretty obvious they don't care about the culture. With the PS5 having, like, you know, backwards compatibility with PS4 because it makes them money, but not really worrying about anything else because it doesn't make them money. And, you know, the way they've treated PS1 and PS2 games over the years, the way they treated the PlayStation Classic, like, it's getting more and more obvious that they don't care about the culture of video games. They don't really care why people play video games or what it's about. They're really just about the money at this point. And that sucks because I grew up kind of as a Sony fanboy, like someone that really felt like Sony got it and was like a cool company. And when Microsoft started making games, I remember specifically being against Microsoft. Like, not just I like Sony more than Microsoft, but I remember specifically being against Microsoft, and I remember telling my friends, like, oh, they're just in it for the money. They're a computer company. They're not a video game company. They're just in it for the money. They're just they're just making the Microsoft Xbox so they can make money off of a market that's starting to get big. Sony has been here since the beginning. Sony understands video games. They get the culture. Like, they get it, right? And I can't say that anymore. Like, that's not something I can say reasonably anymore. It's pretty obvious that they don't care anymore. It's all about the money now. That sucks. And it's not surprising. It's Sephiroth. It's not really that surprising, but it just sucks, like, when you... It's like growing up and realizing that your hero is a jerk or something. Like, if you grew up with, like, a celebrity that you really liked and then you turns out to be a jerk, that's kind of how I feel. Like, I grew up loving Sony, thinking that they were, like, this great company, and now it's just like I turned the corner and realized, uh-oh, they're, So, it's not that I didn't expect it, it's just kind of it's another punch to the gut in terms of my childhood. It's crazy how much things have changed, yeah. I mean, even with just individual companies, like, look at friggin' Konami. F in the chat for all the Konami fans who grew up loving Konami and were like, I'm gonna buy every Konami game ever made. I can't wait to see what they make, and it's gonna be so good, and I'm gonna be a Konami fan for life. And Konami's like, about that. Man, the protectoring is really, really good. I know, it sucks. I feel the pain, man. I feel it with Sony. I wish it were different. Oh, I forgot to unequip Ferris. Yeah, man, it does. It sucks. Who wants Pachinko? Get him with the Chocobo. Let's go. Choco kick. Oh, dude, white Chocobo. Let's go. Is it different every time, or is it always the white Chocobo? That'd be cool if you got different ones. I want fat Chocobo. Okay, so... I don't know what Summoner Level 2 does. Oh, you know what it does? It probably does the same thing as White Magic, where, like, if you're a summoner, you can summon everything. But if you're not a summoner and you use the summon ability, then you need a certain level to summon certain things. I'm gonna have to, like, master this if I want to summon Bahamut without being a summoner. Alright, back to the double lance. It's way better. And it's way more swaggy. Swaggy lance. Oh, can't get that chest. See you in a bit, Snipes. God, look at that damage. Look at that damage. See in a bit, Sona. Okay, it's always the white Chocobo. How much of like an awesome redemption arc would it be if Sony came out and were like, we're closing the PS3 and Vita store because it's all going to be available on PS5? You're like, what? It might be eventually. But the way they're talking, it sounds like they didn't even back the stuff up. Like, they're just kind of like, nope, it's gone. We don't care. I feel like if they were keeping it for future, they would have said so by now. At least giving us some kind of, you know, hey, don't hate us, we're keeping it. They'll make it all available on mobile. Yeah, here we go. Why didn't Sony ever, like, enter the mobile market more? They made those PlayStation Minis. You remember those? They made those PlayStation Minis, which were like mini mobile games, but they were on the PlayStation Store. And I always wondered, like, why didn't they just put all these on phone and, like, make money? It seemed like it was right there in front of them. Sony makes some weird decisions. But so do all the companies. The games won't go on Steam. In order for the games to go on Steam, the original developers would have to, like, port them over to Steam, and most of those games, the developers have moved on. I mean, we're talking old games. We're talking, like, 15-year-old PS3 digital-only games that were made, like, most of them are indie games. Like, those people have moved on. They're not gonna go back and port their game to Steam randomly. Ow. Who knows? Who knows what the future holds? The only thing that I'm excited about, like, right now, is that the PS5's architecture is really good. So the ability for them to expand on the PS5 in the future is really high. Like, there's a good chance that PlayStation Now potentially goes away and we just get PS3 games on the PS5 store. That would be hard because the PS3 architecture is terrible, but, you know, there's a chance. And there's a chance that we get more PS2 and PS1 stuff on it. There's a chance that they upgrade it in the future to be different than it is now. Like, there's a lot they can do with it because the architecture, like, is really good. I guess the groundwork is there, you know? Like, the PS5 is a good console, so they can always improve from there. But right now, it's like, I don't know. What a terrible time for them to even say that they're closing down the PS3 store also, because the PS5 has nothing on it, and no one has it. So it's kind of like the timing is also really bad for them to say that they're closing stuff. Nice. If it weren't already bad enough that they're closing the store, like, now it's not the time. Wait until everyone has a PS5 and they're happy with it, and then close it. That's why I almost wonder if they do have some kind of plan, because why else would they close it now? Like, you know, of all the times to do it, okay. Tote. Yeah, it's just kind of an awkward time, so I don't know. There's so much that they could do that would be amazing. And it just sucks that they care so little about old games. Like, it sucks that that's just the way their culture is right now. Because right now, like I've said many times, all of the Final Fantasies, Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross, Legend of Dragoon, Xenogears, like every amazing PS1 RPG you could possibly imagine, except Legend of Legaia, is on the PS3 store digitally right now. And there's nothing stopping them from just plopping them on the PS5 store. Like nothing. It's all there. It's all already digital. All they have to do is just plop it on the PS5 store. Even if they didn't want to move every single PS1 game, because like all the Spyros are on there, all the Crashes are on there. Maybe they want people to buy the new ones instead. I don't know. I don't know what kind of stupid money laundering scheme they have going on, but there's no reason why like all the old PS1 RPGs shouldn't be on PS5. Like they could totally be there. Could you imagine just jumping on the PS5 store and seeing like frickin' Outriders next to Final Fantasy VI? Like, it'd be amazing. And it's all there. All they gotta do is do it. And once they close down the PS3 store, there'll be even less of a reason not to do it. Because right now you can make the argument like, well, they want people to go buy a PS3. But obviously they don't, because they're closing down the store. Obviously they're done with the PS3. There's no argument there anymore. So like, I don't know, we'll see. Maybe they'll do it. Maybe they'll bring us all the PS1 goodies onto the PS5. If they did that, I feel like the PS5 would be worth it even if you never bought a PS5 game. Like, just having this, like, incredible box that can play basically, you know, a bunch of PS1 games, some PS2 games, and then, like, PS Now for PS3 games, and then all PS4 games, and some PS4 games updated to PS5 versions. Like, it'd be a very good box without even purchasing a PS5 game. How's it going, Half? We're talking about Sony and how they don't care anymore. How's it going, Ming? Good to see you. This thing has some health. Like, what in the world? This thing has more health than Bahamut. Jeez. Yeah, I think one of the craziest things is Infamous Festival of Blood, I believe it's called. It was a kind of Infamous DLC, but not really. It was a standalone game that kind of built off of Infamous. That game will be gone forever. There's no physical copy of it, even though it's an Infamous game and it's like a pretty popular franchise. That game will be gone forever. So that's pretty wild. I need to go back and use a tent. I'm out of MP. Thanks to these enemies that have a million health. And this stupid attack. I can't play PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale anymore. Okay, you're not really helping our argument here. You're making it sound like a good thing. We're supposed to be fighting. We're supposed to be going against Sony. Not giving them reasons. Okay, this Druid thing. Can we stop with the Druid thing? How are all my characters the perfect level for all these attacks? I'm I'm getting played out here. Somehow, Bartz and Krill are both divisible by 4 and 3, and Reyna's divisible by 3. I love the Sly Cooper series, but if I'm being honest, I think the PS3 collection was good enough. That collection was really good, and I don't really think you're like getting a lot from putting it on like PS4. I mean, now it sucks because the PS3 store is closing, so if we could get like a port of it on PS4, just a straight up port, I'd be fine, but yeah. The PS3 collection was good. I think at this point I'd rather just different... Is that gonna hit me? What? Oh no, now I'm divisible by 4! Could I be any more unlucky? Level 2 old. And I'm divisible. Great. Great. Just great. Just great. Just great. Thanks, Gabe. Appreciate all that. That was fantastic. Loved it. It just sucks because, like I said, there used to be a time when Sony looked at video games and they were like, what can we do to make the best video game console? Like, when the PS3 was coming out, granted the PS3 launch was terrible, but the idea behind the PS3 was to make the ultimate gaming experience, you know? And that's why it flopped, because they tried too hard. They tried to make it like the ultimate box ever, and they just went way too far with it. But I loved that old Sony that actually wanted to be the greatest video game developer. You know what I mean? Like, they wanted to be the video game company, and they wanted everyone to, like, all the hardcore gamers, like, they had the hardcore market. Like, they wanted to be the ultimate gaming company, right? And it just sucks that nowadays it's not like that at all. They don't care about that in the slightest. It's not at all about being the best company. It's just about making the most money. They would never make an ultimate Sony box that played everything. And they say that... I've seen multiple interviews where they say that backwards compatibility is something that everyone asks for, but no one uses. And... I don't know. I don't understand that argument. I understand that maybe like a huge portion of people just buy the new console and buy FIFA and then never touch it again. But that doesn't mean you should make it a FIFA box. You know what I mean? Like, you should still try to make the best console for the most people that will hit the most points that people want. Even if they buy it and just play FIFA. Like, you should still be trying to make the best product. Just because people don't use the backwards compatibility as much doesn't mean they don't want it there. It's like worse if it's not there, then people complain. If it was there, they wouldn't complain, even if they don't use it every day. I know that like backwards compatibility isn't the moneymaker, but it's what people will look back on and be like, Sony is a good company that cares about video games, and then that's why they'll go buy a PS6. You know what I mean? I don't know how no gaming company understands that, like, brand loyalty is so important in the video game space. Like, so important. There's so many people that will go out and buy the next Nintendo console even if they think it sucks because they're a Nintendo fan. And there's so many people that'll go out and buy the new PlayStation console even though it's mega expensive because they're a Sony fan. You know? And there's so many people that'll go out and buy the next Final Fantasy because they're a Square Enix fan, even if they think it sucks. And, like, brand loyalty is so important. So just because a lot of people ask for backwards compatibility, but not a lot of people use it, doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. You should do it because it's a good decision to make for the overall gaming community, And when the PS6 comes out, people will look at the PS5 and be like, remember that time that Sony did this thing to make us happy? We should continue to be Sony fans. Instead, like, there's so many people that don't care about Sony anymore because they don't care about us. They care about making a box that makes the most money. If the majority of us asked for backwards compatibility and they don't do it, that will make the majority of us mad. Like, it's just obvious. I don't know. Like, I just don't get that reasoning. A lot of people ask for backwards compatibility, but not a lot of people use it. Well, then still do it, because a lot of people asked for it, and it'll make them happy. It's not about whether or not they use it. It's like my son when he asks for a chocolate bar, and I know he's not going to finish it. Like, he's definitely not going to finish the chocolate bar. He already had dinner, and he ate half the house down, but he wants a chocolate bar because he's a kid, and he wants a chocolate bar. I'm not going to not give him the chocolate bar because he's not going to finish it. I'm going to give it to him because he wants it, and then when he doesn't finish it, I'm going to be like, see, I told you. But, like, you still give it to him. And then, when he grows up, he'll be like, remember that time Dad gave me that chocolate bar and I didn't even finish it, but he gave it to me anyways? That was a good dad. I'm not going to point it at him and be like, you know why I didn't give you that chocolate bar? Because you weren't going to finish it. Like, no, you didn't give me that chocolate bar because you're a crappy dad. Dad. So, long story short, Sony's a crappy dad. That's what I'm trying to say. That's where this whole argument's going. Sony is a crappy dad that didn't give us our chocolate bar, even though he knew we wouldn't finish it. It really is a great analogy, because that's the way I feel. Like, if most people ask for it, it doesn't matter if they use it or not. Most people are asking for it, so do it. It'll make them happy, and then they'll buy your next PlayStation Stupid box. This should be obvious. Sony thinks they're above everyone and know everything. Well, you don't use backwards compatibility. We have the numbers. Only 20% of you use it. Why would you even play old games? Makes me so mad. Are you sure about that? Screw that 20% in particular. Sony Executive 2021. Yeah, did you ever think that maybe people like playing old games because, I don't know, they're not $70 and 20 hours long? Do you ever think of that? To that Sony executive that said who would play old games? I don't know, maybe because the entire world is on fire right now and not everyone has $70 to blow on the next FIFA. What about that? Do you ever think of that? Maybe it's not that we actually think a game with 16-bit sprites is better than the latest Demon Souls. We do think that. But maybe it's not that. Maybe it's just the fact that I can play this without getting a mortgage on my house. The heck is the Beast Killer? What is this weapon? Oh, it's a whip. Blah, blah. You can't use whips, can you? It's gotta be a kills beasts. Thank you. Thank you, English translation. No. Dude, this is so garbage. Can we just go up one level so we're not all divisible by 4? I don't know, man. That's okay. Let's open up this can of worms, because I'm sure this won't light a fire. Who's worse with old games, Nintendo or Sony? Because, like, Nintendo is pretty terrible, but they have this, at least, appreciation for old games. They do these Mario, you know, anniversaries, and they bring back Tetris, and they bring back all, you know, they have, like, they respect their old IPs. When it comes to backwards compatibility, yikes. But and, like, sure, they closed down the Wii store, but they gave us a really long, like, hey, it's coming. You know what I mean? They did not try to sneak it. They were like, hey, the Wii store's closing. And hey, frickin' Mario Party like 6 is still $50. So they know their old games are good. They're not like Sony. I mean, they respect old games enough to make them expensive still. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but they at least recognize that they're valuable, yeah. But then there's some IPs that they don't respect, like Metroid Prime. Yikes. Mech Lol Prime. Mech Lolid Prime. Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't really care about Metroid Prime 4. I played Metroid Prime 3, and I didn't really like it. And I could literally go back and play Metroid Prime 1 any day of the week and enjoy it a lot. Like, I love Metroid Prime 1 still. I do not need another Metroid Prime. Like, I'll just play Metroid Prime 1 over and over again. So I don't really need a Metroid Prime 4, but yeah, Metroid Prime 1 is one of the only games that I can, like, just 100% any day of the week. Like, I could pick it up right now and just start a 100% playthrough. And it's never boring. It's just something about it. I don't have many games that are like that, to be honest. I think everyone has that one game that, like, they can beat, and as soon as they beat it, they could just start again. Metroid Prime is one of those for me. I could just beat it and just start a new file right away. I don't have many games that are like that. I mean, even something like Final Fantasy VII, I know we play it, like, all the time, but I need to have some kind of, like, goal in mind when I play Final Fantasy VII. I can't just pick up Final Fantasy VII and start playing it. Like, I need some kind of goal. Either I'm playing it because I'm recording something, or we're doing some kind of challenge, or I'm doing a speed run, or something. Like, I honestly, I can't just pick up Final Fantasy VII and play it casually. I've played it too much. It's not, like, I will get bored. I guess I wouldn't get bored, but I wouldn't be actively having fun. But yeah, Metroid Prime, man, I could just pick it up and play it any day of the week. Power. What was that thing? Yeah, Final Fantasy VII does feel like work sometimes. And it's not like bad. I mean, I can still play it. In fact, just a couple weeks ago, I had an idea for a video that kind of fell through. But, I spent like 30 hours researching something that I thought could be a potential video. And I had fun doing it. Like, just 30 hours of, like, basically just game overing over and over again, and I was having fun. Because it was something different, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that. And it was, you know, as long as my mind is going and I'm thinking of things and I'm coming up with strategies, I never get bored of it. But, oh, another save point, nice. But yeah, I can't just pick it up and play it casually and just, you know, start a new file. I have to be, like, doing something. Yo, CJC, thank you for the tier 2 34 months. Holy cow. Thank you so much. Foam in the chat, that's amazing. More months than my age. Star, thank you for the tier 217 as well. So happy and grateful to have been able to support you, Death, in your community for so long. Even if streaming as a hobby doesn't work out for me long term, it'll still be here supporting you, my man. Thank you, Star. Do it as a hobby. Don't worry about supporting yourself. Do it as a hobby and enjoy it. And did I thank Mr. Dan for the 7 months as well? I think I did, but thanks again. See you, Demonic. Oh, I think we made it. We made it somewhere. I still can't believe they're called Salonins. That's a great name. What other games can I just pick up and play any day? I think Doom 2016 is another one that I can just play. Also, Zombies. As a lot of you know, I play it all the time. I can just play any map and just enjoy it. What else? Kind of Advance Wars, but a lot of times I play Advance Wars on vacation. I don't really play it any other times. I just don't play handheld games at home. So that one not as much, but it is one of those that anytime I go on vacation or go out, I could put it in my pocket and play it and enjoy it. There's a chest over there. Pimp my ride. Yo! Anonymous gave a gifted sub to Mnemonic. And another gifted sub. Oh, it's 5 gifted subs. It split it up on my thing for some reason. An anonymous 5 gifted sub bomb. Holy cow. Thank you, Anonymous. That might be the biggest anonymous sub bomb I've ever gotten. We've had anonymous gifted subs before, but usually only one. Oh, he dropped the sword. I think I already have that one, though. Let's go on Violet. Yeah, it's the worst one. Oh my god, there's so many fights in this room. I ain't gonna let it get to me, I'm just gonna creep. I know that it's here, I can sense it in my feet. The great emerald's power allows me to feel. I was hoping that this poison rod would, like, poison things, but it never does. That's not a summoner, that's a unicorn. Get it right. A unicorn that can also summon things. Wow, Cure 2 is freaking useless, holy cow. Okay. I hope this chest is worth it. I had to get into like 9 fights to get up here. Circle it? That does sound worth it, but I don't think anyone else can really equip it. I already have one on my summoner. But if I ever have a fight where I want 2 white mages again, that'll be good. God, Pimp My Ride was so bad. I mean, I didn't expect much out of it, but I really, really did not expect what we got. I expected some terrible garage simulator where you just paint cars, but no. No, it's nothing like that. Not even close. There is no car customization whatsoever, other than just buying the most expensive thing when you get to the shop. And it's all the same anyways. %90 of the game is just watching that guy dance in front of the car to make money. Ghost riding your whip. That's 90% of the game. Gotta ghost ride that whip. No, it's not even a minigame simulator. Not even close. There is one minigame. Dance in front of car, that's it. You just drive around to different places where you dance in front of your car. And then you pimp a ride, which is basically just driving around and buying stuff. There are no minigames. It's so bad. How's it going, Dragon? I need some, like, stronger summons. All I have is Bahamut, which I don't want to use because he's super expensive, and then weak ones. I need one that's, like, in the middle. I need Leviathan or something. Nice block. I don't think anything beats iCarly 2 though. That might be one of the worst video games I've ever played. I mean, it was a video game and it had characters and stuff, but it is probably the most nothing game I've ever played. It was just nothing. There was just nothing. You just talked to characters. That was it. And talking to characters is giving it way too much credit, because all they do is say random things like, I want your soup in the toilet, or whatever. Whatever that quote was. Like, it's just, keep your soup in the toilet, yeah. I mean, it's not even random humor, it's just random. It was so bad. Yes, that is an actual quote that Carly tells you when you talk to her. She says, keep your soup in the toilet. And it's not like, let's say random things to be funny. It's just what she says when you talk to her in her house. People over 30 shouldn't make out. Yeah, that was another one. I mean, I probably had more fun playing iCarly 2 than Final Fantasy 15 just from laughing at it, but in terms of gameplay, yeah, it was worse. Because there was no gameplay. That is just the most nothing thing ever. I mean, like, Superman 64 has terrible controls, but there's gameplay. You go through rings. You can go through a ring and be like, hey mom, I went through a ring. But I don't even know what iCarly, like, what do you even... If someone walked in and I was playing iCarly 2 and they said, what are you doing? I wouldn't know the answer to that. It's just a nothing. You just do nothing. You talk to characters and collect items that you can put in a room, and that's it. There's nothing else. It's truly nothing. It was bad. Bundle that up with being on Wii for no reason. There's no Wii controls. There's no mini games involving motion controls. But it's on Wii. And you have to use the Wiimote. There's nothing worse than being forced to use the Wiimote but not having motion controls. That's the worst. I feel like I'm playing the game with a TV remote. And then they had the iCarly show, which, you know, it's an iCarly game, so we gotta pretend like we're iCarly fans, right? Maybe we think the game sucks, but what if we were like a super iCarly fan? Would it be worth it for us to buy it, right? Well, the iCarly show, you just watch it. You don't get to, like, interact with it. You just tell it what to do and it just does it. So even as, like, an iCarly fan, I wouldn't see what you'd get out of it. You don't get to do the show and act like Carly and do funny skits or anything. Like, you just watch it and it's over, and then you go walk around the town some more. It's so bad. It's so bad. Yo, Taquito! Thank you for the 1,000! Appreciate it, my man. Trails of Cold Steel 4. Enjoy. I've heard very good things about that game. Did we play that game once? I can't remember. I want to say we tried it once. We didn't play a lot of it, but I want to say we tried it. Maybe not. Dude, this enemy has more health than the final boss of Final Fantasy II. Like, just die. Why does it have so much health? His name should be Totes HP. Yeah, I played Trails in the Sky. I know that. I guess Cold Steel is different, though. I don't know if we played that. Get me out. Alright. We're gonna rest and save, and then I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and then we're gonna go figure out, see what this boss is, maybe. Seems like a boss. I need to buy more tents after this, also. Yeah, I've heard many things about that series. Many people have asked me to play it. We've done it for fan days. But one day we'll have to do it for real. Think of a 100-bit star. No more iCarly. At least iCarly 1 was playable, even though the cutscenes were really bad.